Morning guys, it's the morning before our Minnesota turkey hunting opener and it's cold out right now, about 30 degrees, but yesterday it was really kind of just windy and really windy, rainy and really windy, gusted to about 30 miles an hour all day and stuff with sleet and on and off and things like that. So I was laying in bed this morning and I just got a permission. A landowner who I talked to about a month ago called me back last night at about 6 o'clock and told me that it'd be okay for me to do some turkey hunting on his land. So I'm really grateful for that. And so I'm out here. I've never stepped foot on the property. I've just looked at it a lot on a map and stuff, and it looks like really nice stuff. So I decided I just woke up and came out here to try to listen for gobbles and see if I could get a pin or a bead on where they're roosting and stuff. And I've got big, it goes way back there. I've got this open field here, and then there's like slough ground over there, and then just a bunch of tree cover back in the back corner over there. That's about it's about 800 yards to the back of the property line there, and you can't hear them right now, but there's a bunch of gobbles coming from over that direction. So pretty excited about, I've got actually I've been driving around a lot this year and trying to get on pieces if I see birds and things like that, and just go talk to people, and I've been luckier this year than I've been basically in my entire life trying to get on properties. Now getting on turkey property can be a little bit more doable than deer property. But I've actually got 3 properties lined up this year that I can turkey hunt on, so which is awesome. I feel like I've got a good mix of properties I can go on and stuff, and so I'm gonna use a gun this year. For many years I've used a bow just because it allows me to hunt longer, and it's really, I love bow hunting turkeys. But in Minnesota, if you get an archery tag, you can hunt the entire season from mid-April through the end of May. Whereas if you get a gun, you get 1 week, you get a 7-day period. And then if you don't fill that tag, you can hunt again this year from May 21st to May 31st. So I decided this year I'm gonna get a gun license and really focus on a week period. And then after that, I'll be able to kind of take my maybe my daughter out if she decides she wants to go, though she's getting really busy with school activities and things like that right now. And take some friends out. I'm going to call for a buddy of mine and get out to South Dakota too sometime, I think, turkey hunting with a bow. So yeah, it's good to come out here, and it's going to be cold in the mornings this week, in the 30s, but should be pretty good. I've been seeing some toms strutting a lot, obviously, and things like that. So I'll head out tomorrow and we'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm out scouting night before the opener here, and this is my first time being on this property, and the property is it's got a lot of good mix of brushy cover. Aspens are predominantly, like you can see over there, a bunch of aspens kind of lines that tree line on the edge of the field over there too. And I was this morning, I was back there on the road listening, and they were over, I knew they were gobbling somewhere over in this corner. So I came back here to try to get a bead on where I thought maybe they're potentially roosting. I think you can kind of see it right here. Right in there is a nice patch of oaks, and those aspens are, pretty thin, don't have a lot of branches coming off them, and aren't very good roosting trees. So I gotta think that, that's where the birds I was hearing this morning were gobbling from. So there's actually the landowner. He mows kind of wider paths out here so him and his wife can go for walks on the property. And so I was walking the path out, and there's this path that leads right from those oaks in that area there out to the field over here. So I tucked back into the trees there and got a spot ready to kind of hunker up against, and it looks good on paper here. So I'm thinking, I'm wrestling back and forth on where I want to go for opening morning, but I think this spot may win out, and that's probably where I'll end up being in the morning. So Hey guys, yeah, when that came together, it came together pretty quick. I started this morning, it's opening morning here in Minnesota, and I started this morning hearing a lot of birds in the distance. You know, it's kind of hard to judge exactly how far away, but nothing too terribly close that got me, you know, thinking that something was going to happen immediately right off the roost. So I just kind of worked my box call and let out some louder calls on my diaphragm to let them know that I was in the area. And then I kind of just let things sit for a little bit. And about 45 minutes, an hour after first light, I let out a series of calls and stuff, and I heard what I think was a hen calling back at me in the distance a little ways. So I kind of worked her a little bit, and gave it, I don't know, 5-10 minutes or something. At least that's what it felt like. I kind of stayed quiet and then let out another series of yelps and everything. And I could tell one hammered at me, and I could tell that, you know, they were pretty close over in this direction. Yeah, and then I just, in a kind of a short burst, I decided to get a little aggressive with them, and it just happened perfectly. They didn't come immediately right down this path. They kind of skirted through the trees and everything, and I thought maybe they were going to skirt the decoys, because you'll see that sometimes. I mean, a decoy is, I don't know, it feels like it's a coin flip half the time whether or not they're going to actually come into the decoys or they're going to skirt them and everything. But these two came in obviously pretty aggressive toward the decoy setup, and I maybe could have let a show play out a little bit more and everything, but I had a 15-yard shot on them, and I basically, the second that front one got clear of the second one, I decided to pull the trigger. I had my red dot right on the head of that front one, and yeah, that's my first time shooting a turkey with that 410, which was kind of fun. I got that gun actually for my daughter, but I don't know, I got it for her last year, and I don't know if she's gonna end up going out this next year, or this season I should say. So I thought, well, I bought the gun, I bought the TSS loads, I'm gonna give it a shot and everything. But it was kind of fun because it's a single shot 410, and I patterned it in everything like that a few weeks ago, and it was basically gonna be still like a 25-yard and in shot. Now I know I've heard people say that even with the 410, I don't know, maybe you can even reach out to like 40 and things like that. I wasn't really interested in that. I noticed that my pattern, you know, got a little loose once you get to that distance and everything. So I was looking for a 25-yard and in shot and everything. So I love to bow hunt turkeys, and that's typically what I do because we get the full season here to hunt in Minnesota if I have an archery tag. But I just thought, you know, it'd be kind of fun to use a single shot 410 like that, and still with the mindset that I'm gonna have to get a bird in close to fill a tag and everything. And yeah, it worked out great this morning. It's about as I couldn't have asked for a better opening morning. I think, you know, one of the keys to this hunt though that I do want to touch on is I think with turkeys sometimes, and I love to run and gun for turkeys, so a lot of times I'll come in the morning, and I'll just listen, and then I'll go after them type of thing. And I was even tempted to do that right away again this morning, but I decided to, no, I decided to trust my scouting. So like I said prior in the video, I came out yesterday and scouted this, and I just really felt like those oaks, which extend kind of back even onto an adjacent property, I think that's where a lot of birds were roosting, were kind of back on an adjacent property before they got down and made their way over this direction and everything. But yeah, I just kind of trusted my scouting on this one, where I came through on this path and I could see in the leaves where the leaves had been, you know, there had been scratching and stuff done by the birds, and they had kind of raked away the leaves in spots. And so I just thought, you know, eventually there's so much gobbling going on around me, I just feel like if I sit tight for a little while, something's gonna happen. So, and that's how it played out. But yeah, it's you know, kind of a testament to hunting in general and stuff. If you put in the time scouting, that kind of thing, you're typically, that's what's going to lead to consistency in the woods and everything. You're gonna get paid off. Not always, that's hunting, but it puts you in a good place and everything. So super grateful to like I said yesterday, I got permission on 3 properties this year by, you know, driving around, knocking on doors and just talking to people and stuff. And that can be very difficult. I've That's not always the case, but I was fortunate this year to, meet some people who are willing to let me hunt and stuff, and yeah, I'm just really grateful for that, and grateful for landowners who let you do that. So good luck to everybody getting out this year. It's the start of it's the start of the spring seasons up here north. I know in the south they've been kind of going for a while now and everything, but I'm gonna tag this one, get it all taken care of and everything, and then I'm gonna head out to South Dakota in the next few weeks with my bow and do some calling for some friends and stuff. So good luck, everyone.